The Indian Prime Minister is all set to embark upon a significant diplomatic tour covering 5 nations while heading to attend the BRICS Summit of 2025. Hello and welcome to Drishti IAS. My name is Saloni Nankyoliar, and in this video, we will understand the purpose of his visit, the BRICS Summit of 2025, and how is all this aligning with India's vision of becoming a leader of Global South. So our PM is going to be visiting 5 nations, and those 5 nations are Ghana, Namibia, Argentina, Brazil, and Trinidad and Tobago in the Caribbean Sea. In fact, 3 out of these 5 nations, which are Ghana, Namibia, and Trinidad and Tobago, they have never been visited by any Indian Prime Minister in the past. This is how neglected the region has been, and the purpose of our PM's visit here is multifold. First, we wish to strengthen our bilateral ties. So the global uncertainty in the world is at its peak right now, and in this scenario, we wish to diversify our partnerships with the regions that have been long neglected. And these partnerships are going to be across domains of trade, investment, pharmaceuticals, health, defense, space, and whatnot. And this is going to reaffirm India's commitment to the global South-South cooperation. So Global South is a term that is used to refer to all the least developed and developing nations of the world that have high unemployment, high poverty, low per capita incomes. They have been historically colonized, which is in contrast to the Global North countries, which are the most modern, highly industrialized and the greatest economies of the world. India is also a part of the Global South, and India has always stood in solidarity with the Global South countries, and this visit is only going to strengthen that. Then we also want to increase our presence in the regional partnerships like BRICS and ECOWAS. So BRICS we are already a founding member of, but what is ECOWAS? So ECOWAS is the Economic Community of West African States. Now if you look at the West African countries, this is the Sahel region. And Sahel region has been historically unstable because time and again we keep hearing the news of military coup here. So this is one area where India can contribute to in terms of peacekeeping activities, peace building activities, capacity building, education, humanitarian aid, development. So this is also one of the purposes of our Prime Minister's visit. And lastly, we wish to strengthen our people-to-people ties. So there's a huge Indian diaspora that lives in all these countries, and India can establish itself as a global power by increasing the engagement with the diaspora that lives here. Now, if we talk about the BRICS Summit of 2025, so this summit is happening in Brazil, and the theme is Inclusive and Sustainable Global South. This is the 17th summit, and where did the 16th happen? It happened in Russia. And 18th is going to happen in India in 2026. So there are 10 members, and the latest additions are Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and UAE. Interestingly, the Chinese president is not going to attend the BRICS summit, and Putin is also going to attend it via video conferencing and not in person. Because there is an ICC arrest warrant against Putin, and Brazil is a member of ICC, it has signed the Rome Statute. So if Putin enters Brazil, Brazil will be obligated to arrest Putin. That is the reason that he'll be attending it via video conferencing. But with China not being present in the summit, this becomes a great opportunity for India to maneuver the summit in our direction. So the BRICS declaration is expected to strongly condemn terrorism, especially state-funded and state-sponsored terrorism after the Pahalgam attack. So the declaration that is going to come out of it, we are expecting it to condemn terrorism in all forms. And if we look at India's foreign policy and Global South perspective, so as I already mentioned that India has always stood in solidarity with the Global South countries, and our foreign policy has also changed from being non-aligned. So from non-alignment, we have moved to issue-based alignment. Because during the time of Cold War, there were 2 major superpowers. The world was bipolar. Now the dynamics of the world have changed. Instead of being bipolar, we are now moving to a multipolar world. So now instead of being non-aligned at all times, we follow the stance of issue-based alignment. And right now also, while the Prime Minister is visiting these West African and Latin American countries, our Foreign Minister, Mr. S. Jaishankar, is also attending Quad Foreign Ministerial meeting in Washington. So this is kind of a balance that India is maintaining between the Western countries and the non-Western countries. So our foreign policy is also changing. The Global South perspective is becoming strong. And if we talk about the strategic significance of this visit, we'll have to look at it country by country, because these regions, these countries, they are underdeveloped, but they are resource rich. So let us start with Ghana. Ghana has huge gold reserves. It is the largest, it has the largest gold reserves in West Africa. And apart from gold, it also has bauxite, diamond, and manganese. So all these things are present in Ghana, and India can benefit with a partnership with Ghana. In fact, Ghana is a stable democracy of West Africa, and this can be our gateway to ECOWAS. Then, if we talk about Namibia, so Namibia has great oil and gas reserves. Then, it is also rich in solar energy, because the Tropic of Capricorn passes through it. So it also has huge solar energy reserves. So India can have a partnership with Namibia in renewable energy. It also has huge reserves of uranium. So we can have energy collaboration, renewable energy collaboration, nuclear energy collaboration with Namibia. Then if we talk about Trinidad and Tobago, which is in the Caribbean Sea, number one, it has huge oil and gas reserves. In fact, it has the largest LNG reserve in the Caribbean Sea. So our energy requirements can also be met from here. Then it is a maritime hub because it lies in the Caribbean Sea. So we can have maritime cooperation with Trinidad and Tobago. And it has a huge demand for pharma. Huge demand for pharma. So Indian pharmaceutical sector is strong, and we can be a great exporter of pharmaceutical products to Trinidad and Tobago. So these are the kind of partnerships that we can build with these countries. Now if we look at Argentina, so when you think of Argentina, immediately lithium triangle should come to your mind, which has 3 countries, Argentina, Bolivia and Chile. So lithium reserves there are huge lithium reserves in Argentina. Apart from lithium reserves, there are again oil and gas, like shale gas reserves in Argentina. And this also has huge wind energy potential. Again, we can have renewable energy partnership with Argentina. And lastly, if we talk about Brazil, so Brazil along with India is a founding member of BRICS. And we all know that it is a great exporter of cocoa and coffee products. But apart from that, it is also a great agricultural commodity exporter. And it also has huge reserves of critical minerals, especially one mineral which is niobium. So in the current uncertain situation that we see, niobium actually is a critical mineral that is used for defense technology, in the space technology, for building steel equipments and missile technology. So this can be a very important critical mineral that India can have a partnership with. And as a way forward for India, we need to understand that one-time visits are not really going to help. They have to be sustainable, long-term, and they have to be followed up with investments, MOUs. So there has to be something that comes out of these visits, and then they have to be revisited time and again. Maybe we can think about building some groupings, some other types of partnerships, so that it is sustainable. It is not just a one-time thing. So all these things are going to help India in diversifying the partnership, in diversifying our supply chain, in our trade balances. So that is all for today's video. I hope you found the session helpful. Now let us look at a practice question for prelims. India's recent diplomatic outreach, marked by high-level visits to both Global South nations and participation in multilateral forums like BRICS and Quad, reflects which of the following? 1. A conscious effort to maintain strategic autonomy in foreign policy. 2. A transition from non-alignment to issue-based multi-alignment. 3. a rejection of engagement with global north in favor of south-south solidarity. Which of the statements is or are correct? A, 1 and 2 only, B, 2 and 3 only, C, 1 and 3 only, D, 1 only. Please provide your answers in the comment section, and until we meet the next time, please keep studying and keep revising.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.